Hi everyone, Tony from Hack the Movies here. And Jaws, what a great movie. What a wonderful movie that everyone loves. I've covered it in the past. But it happened to have 3 sequels. And on today's episode of Hack the Movies, we're going to try and figure out which one is the worst Jaws sequel.
It's time to Hack the Movies.
And I'm so excited to do this episode today. When I wanted to do this episode, I was like, there's one person I got to reach out to, one of my favorite wrestlers, and I said, I want Shark Boy on this episode. And instead, I got Kit Osbourne, who I've been making fun of on social media, and somehow he figured out the address for the new store. And how you doing, Kit? You like all those lighthearted jabs that I do to you online, which are out of love, right?
Can we just talk about Jaws?
Yeah, we can talk about Jaws, Kit. So everyone knows my opinion on Jaws. They've probably seen the episode. So how did you fall in love with the Jaws movie?
Jaws itself, I mean, it is my absolute favorite movie, as you know. But I think what I love more about it is everything that was wrong with the movie. Like every documentary I've seen, on it, and why the shark didn't work, and little things here and there, like, every bio on every character in the movie. And then the movie itself, I just thought was perfect because of all those mistakes and because of the character's background. Like Clint being drunk for probably at least half of it, and because of that, he has my absolute favorite monologue of all time, which, I definitely want to talk about.
There's a great camaraderie between the 3 heroes on the boat. It's great at building suspense. We've talked about how, because the shark didn't work, they came up with good ways, like the POV camera, the fin, the barrels at the end.
Yep.
Which was really, really cool. It worked really, really well.
A lot of ad lib, with Chief Brody in there, and then even with Quint and Hooper's them in real life kind of combating, made them both better actors.
Yes.
So I mean, Steven Spielberg really made out like a bandit. On that one.
Great movie. Also, Jaws itself, Spielberg jokes, is like a secret sequel to Duel. The one about the truck chasing the guy, which is a great movie, which I covered on Cinemassacre Rental Reviews. I did that with Nathan Barnett. Great movie. Jaws was basically not maybe invented, but really defined the summer blockbuster.
Yeah.
So of course they said, let's do it again.
Yep, they did.
As far as I can tell, there's no Jaws 2 book.
No.
So they're already struggling to come up with something.
Yep. It's based on the characters created by.
So, Brody, no, they do that all the time. They do that, there's movies that are the 5th or 6th sequel. It's like Hellraiser, based on a work by Clive Barker. He had nothing to do with this movie. That guy has pins in his head. That's all the relation is.
Yep.
Jaws 2 was directed by Jeanette Swartz, who also directed Supergirl, the movie.
Oh my God.
And, it took 40-something years, but Helen Slater finally got to be Supergirl again in the CGI cameo in The Flash. This is actually, we'll talk about the quality of the movie. When it comes to sequels, this is kind of the big sequel that made sequels. Sequels have always existed.
Yeah.
But this was holy shit, we can make even more money with a sequel. If not, diminishing returns a little bit, but it has a great tagline. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water.
It does. It has everything that you would want in a sequel, that you would get so excited. But it's almost that excitement is just too much for it. If it wasn't Jaws 2, maybe it would have been okay.
Maybe. But there's multiple theories why Spielberg didn't come back. He said he didn't like sequels or he didn't like the script. There's a bunch of stuff. So this movie, I think during production, they fired the writer and the director, not the one I mentioned, the first director, whose name I forgot to write, because they wanted to make it more action oriented. This was actually supposed to be a real, darker kind of sequel. Amity was supposed to be sheltered up, people were afraid to go there. Everyone was supposed to be kind of miserable there. It had a really dark tone, and they decided we want it more action oriented and a little bit lighter. So they changed the whole mood of the film.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about Roy Schneider, why he came back for this?
I actually don't remember why he wanted to come back. I thought it was
he
just
did not,
for the money.
He did not want to come back. So he was originally in The Deer Hunter, and he walked off that movie. But he had a 3-movie deal with Universal, and they were pissed. Why. So they're like, look, we'll forgive you and get you out of that deal if you do Jaws 2 for us. And he tried to get out of it. He tried to fake insanity and stuff. But then they did that, and they offered him a bunch of money too. So like, he really, really did not want to do this movie, and he was kind of forced into doing this movie. And he apparently clashed with the director the whole time. So yeah, you have like, not as good. I mean, sure, the director's fine. He probably did like a bunch of stuff, but like not as good of a director as Spielberg. They don't have a book to even adapt the story, so they're kind of going in blind with this one.
Yeah.
And they have a main actor who doesn't want to be there, doesn't want to do any of it.
Yep.
Yeah, and they kind of made the decision to be like, well, everyone's going to expect to see the shark. We already showed it. Why even try to build as much suspense? There's almost like no suspense to it.
There was one, and it failed right away. It like, all right, how am I supposed to believe this one?
Yeah.
You know?
So can you believe it? There's another shark. I mean, sure, there are a lot of sharks, but there's another shark that wants to kill for some reason.
Yep, right in Amity.
And he kills some divers who, for some reason, are checking out the orca wreckage. I don't know why. They're just like, let's go to the orca wreckage. I couldn't believe this. That mayor got reelected.
Yeah, that's the number one thing, like out of all of them. And guess what? Right as Chief Brody is saying, there's a shark. There's another shark, and he's just like, no, it's not. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, will you just believe the guy this time? Just take his word for it.
Yeah.
Hear him out. All right.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, I wish they didn't show the shark that much, because there is a version of this movie where it would be cool if like, you're not sure if these are shark attacks. Maybe Brody is going insane. But the fact that we see the shark attacking.
Yeah. And everybody's on his side and nobody can. Yeah.
Yeah. So it would have been cool. Like, that would have been a cool character study. Like, someone who survived a super traumatic event thinks it's happening again, but there's no guarantee that it is. It's like, he has to struggle with it.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool. Instead, it's another shark.
That's it. And they're just kind of just handing it to,
Yeah.
they're just handing the answer. Like, what, right in the beginning, right from there, you already know how the movie is going to end. You
Yeah.
know, there's no real suspense built.
Yeah, well, no, they definitely. So I think every Jaws movie, from what I'm reading, they set up what's going to kill the shark. Because the first one, they said,
and
be
it was
careful.
so easily. Like, it was,
Be careful with those barrels, you'll blow up. And then this one, be careful with that power line.
Yeah. Well, at least with the barrels, you know, I wouldn't have thought. I have no idea that thing's going to blow up. But
I think there was a thing where like they don't blow up. Like that was like a Mythbusters thing, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so what we love about the first movie. Amity feels like a very lived-in place. Everyone feels organic. Like, we like the family, and we like the connection between the three men and their different points of views and stuff. This movie, you know, they did a really good job. Horny teens.
Great, thanks.
Well, she got tits like a sparrow.
Which would become a running thing through the decade following. Horny teens. Oh no, watch out for those horny teens. They're real horny, and they're going out on a boat to a lighthouse for no reason. And we're stuck with these characters for most of the movie. And it's his sons, by the way, Mike and Sean.
Yeah, they
the
never
Brody
learned
boys.
their lesson from the first one.
No,
you
they
know?
don't. They don't.
Like he's like, oh, come on, let me just hang out with my friends. He's like, dude, remember the last time you did that?
Yeah.
You know, like, it didn't work out.
A lot of the danger and stuff is around the horny teens, and I don't care about any of them.
No. No, I don't want them to live.
Yeah.
They don't need
So
to survive.
I
They're
think the
fine.
only like for Jaws 1, you can remember so many scenes. There are so many scenes you can remember. Jaws 2, it's like the skiing scene. And I think people only really remember that because a lot of the covers was the girl skiing with the shark behind her, which I think this is all at it. But they purposely put this scene in to have the shark get injured so it looked different than the first one. It's got that big burn.
Yeah, that char.
Which is used in the Jaws ride, which
Yep.
I just got back from Universal Studios and I was
And it's not
sad that it was
there.
gone. Yeah.
I saw it when I was 10 years old. Like,
Don't get me wrong. It was kind of a corny ride. It was kind of a corny,
loved
cheesy
it.
ride. I loved it though.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah, going through Universal, I was kind of sad going through Universal Studios. Still a great park, but it's like, and I understand, I'm 33 now. Those movies were still kind of fresh when I was there. But now it's like Minions Land, Michael Bay Transformers
I get
Land,
it. It makes
Fast
sense.
and Furious. I'm like, I get it. because those are now popular movies. I understand you have to update,
Yeah.
but like it's set. But like it used to be rides based off popular movies that were also good.
Right.
Look, I like the first Michael Bay Transformers, but not the other four. Like, so a ride on that, I'm like, oh, cool. Oh, Fast and Furious, that's fun. And I don't give a shit about Harry Potter.
Well, I mean, the ride's cool, but I
Yeah.
don't get, but with that Jaws ride, I like how they kind of throw little. Like you have to find
Yeah.
little parts of it. I mean, yeah, that big shark is so that you can take a picture. with.
Yeah, I took
and
a
all
picture
that.
with that recently. I think I sent that to you. I'm like, with the shark. I'm glad they left that, but it used to be cool when that whole section was Amity. That was really cool.
Yeah, it was. Awesome.
So yeah, the skiing scene is pretty funny where it's chasing the girl, then the girl blows herself up, which I didn't realize at the time. So I reviewed a movie.
Like,
What?
when I watched that, this is my actual reaction. I'm like, why did she do that?
So I didn't realize I reviewed a movie called Cruel Jaws, which was released in some countries as Jaws 5. And by the way, I'm going to pause. I know you fuckers are making fun of the way I say Jaws in the comments. I have
Jaws.
I have that Northeast Philly thing where I add L's to words that end in AW.
I don't do that. I mean, I'm from the Delco area, and I sound everything out.
What do
I say
you- what do you-
water.
Okay, I
you
say
know?
water too. So I don't have like a lot of like real Philly things, but the AW thing, that's the one that gets me. And everyone's like, Tony, what's Jaws? And I'm like, shut up, stop making fun of me.
Jaws.
So anyway, in Cruel Jaws, when I watched that movie, and it's been a while since I saw Jaws 2, and I remember being like, yeah, that girl blows herself up. That's so stupid. I didn't realize it was straight up taken from Jaws 2 because they just reuse footage. But yeah, the girl's like, oh no, a shark. I'm going to hit it with gasoline.
What a.
And I love the whole time this old lady's just watching from her porch. She's like, oh, what's going on out there?
Oh yeah. Wait, and then later on, she saw clearly what happened.
Yeah.
And then when they asked her, she was like, "What'd she say?" She was like, "Oh, it's just there was just smoke everywhere." And you're like, "There was a fire, and you saw the boat.
There
blow
was an
up."
explosion.
They were like, they were right there.
I always liked when they find the dead whale, the killer whale.
Yeah.
Because I forget when.
Cheek missing.
Which, by the way, Orca is now streaming. I forget on what platform. You ever see Orca?
Orca?
Oh, you've never seen Orca?
No.
Oh my god! So it was one of those Jaws cash grabs, but it's
Oh.
about a killer whale. It's awesome.
Well, if you could, we could just watch that documentary. It's like the same thing.
Yeah, well, no, this is a whale where like its mate was killed, so the whale now wants revenge on the whale hunters. But like, I think Bo Derek's in it. I think there's like a house that's built on a cliff. And
my God.
straight up the killer whale like eats through the house to get the girl.
How does it-
It's awesome. So when I see the killer
It's
whale,
gonna
I'm
be
like,
my whole summer now. I'm gonna
I'm
be
like-
watching these things.
I really want a Jaws versus Orca movie so bad. But that was a cool, like, practical effect, like the corpse on the beach. I thought that looked really cool. And then that girl is there because they couldn't get Hooper back.
Right. Yeah,
was-
but he's smart enough to not be in it.
Yeah, he was smart. They tried to get him back for like another one, and he was like, no. Yeah, so there's that girl who's like a marine biologist, and you think she's gonna be like the Hooper replacement, but she's not. She's
No.
kind of there for a little bit.
Yeah, she wasn't. she wasn't a main character, really.
Yeah, so like I do like the whole thing of like Brody kind of going nuts. Like he shows them like the picture that was taken. He's like, look, that's a shark eye. They're like, maybe it's
Yeah.
too low quality to know.
That was like their comparison to like, well, you know, we saw the tooth. You're like, well, do you have the tooth?
Yeah.
Like that was their
Yeah.
comparison of it. And
Yeah, but he finds that
on.
corpse. Then it all comes to a head when they have the big day, the opening day on the beach. Everyone's happy, and he's
They
like
are.
in the shark tower.
Yep.
And
And
they're like, what's that man doing up there? Nothing. He's doing nothing.
dude, would stop being a cop, and they would take his badge away if
Yeah.
he acted like that in
Dude,
real life.
he
He started shooting at a kid.
Again. This is the part of the movie I like. I'm like, I'm gonna watch a whole movie like this. When he runs on the beach because he thinks he sees the shark, and he just starts firing his gun into the ocean.
Just blindly, and then the guy's like, dude, it's just bluefish. It's just bluefish. They do that. And he's like, false alarm, everybody. I gotta go back to my tower. Look.
So he's fired and everything. But yeah, it turns out the horny teens go out on the boat.
It's all their fault.
Yep, it's all their fault. So he's got to rescue his sons.
It- It's the ones, man, that were wearing the shark fin.
Yeah.
You know, like they just grew up to be bastards.
Yeah.
You know?
Fucking, I'm sorry. At one point, they sent a helicopter out there.
Of course they did. That.
And the kids are like, we're saved. I don't even know the helicopter can fit all of them. The shark, no shit, comes out of the water and tries to help. I actually do like the
no
scene, though, where
shit.
the blade is breaking in the water and it's sending the blades everywhere. That was cool.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like how traumatizing this is. Like when there's a shark coming, killing this
Yeah.
this pilot, and then also these blades are coming off, and you're like, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah. I guess Brody is like, he still kind of has a fear of the water, but he's kind of powering through it. Like he drives out there on the boat.
He's killed one shark, and he's like, I guess he got it out of his system, you know?
But like the shark attacks them, and it builds up to the whole power chord ending. Where what does he say? His catchphrase, his line is not as cool. He's like, "Say open up,
say
yeah,
that's it. Yep, open up."
And the shark just like gets electrocuted, which is how the ride ended. The shark would come up and like eat the wire.
I never would have thought like that when they made the ride in Universal, like that would be the one. But I guess it's also like the easiest one that they could have made.
Yeah.
And 3 and 4, I don't even think came out. No, it was out already.
Well, we'll talk about the ride when we get to 4.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so Jaws 2, a lot of people like, I think they just like this one by default just because it has a lot of the same actors in it and it's the first sequel. But yeah, every time I revisit these sequels, especially this one, I'm like, man, I'm kind of bored of this. Like the shark stuff's not as cool as when it was, but like when I was a kid.
Because it became really predictable, and that's what was so attractive, or what was, that's the complete opposite of what made Jaws so attractive. Which is that's what was upsetting. It's like if you didn't know, like how you said, if we all just weren't really sure, like, man, is Chief kind of losing it a little?
That would have been a cool movie. And then he's justified at the end when it like turns out it is a shark.
Oh man,
there were cool things. I think it was a cool concept that was constantly being reworked and retweaked. But yeah, overall, I think it's just kind of a lackluster movie. But it proved that the sequel, you can make bank. They made a ton of merchandise for this movie, tie-in books. Like they went all out with this one.
Oh yeah.
And let me see, 1978. So this is a year after Star Wars. So they know, they're like, wait, Jaws was a big hit. We could do a sequel and also merchandise it as much as they did with like Star Wars, and big success financially. I don't think people really liked it too much. They thought it was just like okay.
Yeah, like I said, like most people, if it wasn't Jaws 2, if it was its own movie, people probably would have liked it. But I
think because of the Jaws like legacy, I think that's why Spielberg ended up becoming more hands-on with sequels to his stuff. I mean, he directed The Lost World, which isn't good, but he like was involved with the production of like all the Jurassic Worlds and stuff. Because I think he just, some people don't like those movies, but like I think he just didn't want to have another Jaws situation where it's like other people kind of tainted his stuff.
Yep.
Whereas like, you know what? I'm involved with this at least. And then with Indiana Jones, he's like, I'm going to direct the sequels and until this new one.
Yeah, it wasn't just to have his name attached to anything.
Yeah.
Which is complete opposite.
Because you see like this franchise kind of becomes a joke toward the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's okay. I mean, if you just have it, it's a good background movie, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it. It's one of the 3 sequels we talk about that I've definitely seen more than once. But I'm probably not gonna, unless I have to do another review someday. I don't think I'm gonna watch it. I'm not gonna put it on for my friends, But do you know? But like before we get to 3 at all, that what Spielberg wanted to make. He wanted to make a second Jaws. He wanted to make it a prequel, and he wanted to be based on the SS Indianapolis with Quint. And have the whole backstory of why, like why does he not wear life jackets? Like things like that.
They made a Nicolas Cage movie a few years ago that was about the Indianapolis. I don't know if it was good, but I wanted to check it out.
I know his son, Quint's son, has like some play that he does.
Oh, the actor's son? Oh, I thought you
Quint. Yeah.
I thought you meant Quint's like actual
Robert Shaw's son. Yeah.
I'm like, Quint had a son?
Yeah. You don't remember that part? It was in the special.
No, I don't particularly remember that part. By the way, I'm looking at my Movie Maniacs Jaws set over there.
I saw it. I was.
I
looking
put
at
it. It's falling apart. I'm like, I found the box where I'm like, you know what? You're going back in the box. You're falling apart. I need you to be in there. You're a dust magnet.
It's just like the real boat.
Yeah. So yes, that was it for Jaws 2.
Yep.
So Kit, it's time to talk about Jaws 3D.
Oh man.
And I thought I'd do something fun for our patrons on Patreon or YouTube channel members. This segment for $2, you can watch this segment in 3D. Ooh, oh my God, isn't that cool? It's like it's coming at you.
I feel like I'm there.
Oh wow, you can watch this in a headset. It will feel like you're on the set. You can look around. It'll be like it's 3D.
Why play all those games where you can act like you're picking stuff up when you can just watch us?
Whoa! Whoa! So this was the only film directed by production designer Joe Alves, who did production design on a lot of big movies, including, I think, the first few Jaws movies. Let me see here. So I have a couple things I got from IMDb and whatnot, but I knew that this was true. So David Brown and Richard D. Zanuck, producers of the first two films, they originally, I don't know if you knew about this, they originally pitched Jaws 3 as a spoof based on the suggestion of Maddie Simmons and John Hughes, titled National Lampoon's Jaws 3 People Zero.
People Zero?
It was about a movie studio trying to make a second sequel to Jaws. It opened with author Peter Benchley being eaten in his pool by a shark.
That sounds so much better.
It included a naked Bo Derek and shark costume
Oh
aliens.
my God, even better.
Joe Dante from Gremlins was attached to direct. Steven Spielberg apparently did not like this idea and threatened to walk from his deal with Universal. And then the producers, they were like, well, he rejected it. We're quitting the studio. So yeah,
I would have loved that even more.
so yeah, they were shooting the 3D effects one way, and then they had to shoot it a different way, and there was like a huge time crunch. So that meant that it says here, 2/3 of the planned composite shots were cut from the movie because they just didn't have time to finish the effects. Many more were simplified to make them easier and quicker to complete via optical printing, and a handful of unfinished shots showing blank green screens were left in the film. And did you see a couple of those?
A couple of them on YouTube.
There's a big one when they're going through the tunnel, and it's just a blank green screen, and then you hear the people looking and pointing at the shark that's just not there.
I love that.
Holy shit!
I mean, like, they should have been able to buy time. That's how Steven Spielberg did it. Like, he
Yeah.
just kept buying weeks and weeks and weeks. Like, I don't know how he did it, but they didn't even try. They were like, whatever you say.
And by the way,
I'm just happy to be here.
so this takes place at SeaWorld.
Yep.
A very exaggerated SeaWorld. Apparently it was shot at SeaWorld.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
again, why would SeaWorld agree to this? This seems like bad publicity for SeaWorld.
Well, you know what? I bet it probably promoted, like, their dolphin.
Yeah, and Shamu, not the original Shamu, but a Shamu is in it. Yeah, that's just a very odd, like, product placement.
Oh, yeah. I watched, like, I watched, film locations, and, like, most of it, a lot of it's still, like, there.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Which was pretty neat to see. Oh, that's where that shitty Jaws movie was filmed.
So, by the way, a loaded cast. You have Dennis Quaid, young Dennis Quaid,
Yep.
who I think I sent you a fact said he was on cocaine throughout the entire film.
I was like, man, my man.
Very young Leah Thompson, who apparently lied about starring in smaller movies to get this part. Louis Gossett Jr. as Calvin, the head of the thing. And my man, Simon McCorkindale, the British adventurer guy. And you know him, right?
Yeah,
From his hit show Manimal. Remember Manimal?
sure do.
I used to watch reruns of Manimal in the 90s. It was a short-lived show about like a detective who could turn into different animals, and Simon McCorkindale was the star. So every time I watch this now, I'm like, that's Manimal. I love
turn into one.
Manimal. This was the one I remember being like, I remember as a kid being like, this one's really bad. I'm starting to notice this is really, really bad. And again, with 3D, You know you're off to a good start with first off the text is coming at you, and then the fish gets eaten by the shark, and then the fish head is just like going.
Yeah,
like,
and everything looked as real as the shark that you caught here. All right.
yes, that very real shark. I killed that shark by myself. It wasn't even that hard.
That Kittner boy's in there.
Yeah, the fish head just, and like a lot of 3D movies were like this at the time. We've talked about Friday the 13th Part 3D, where they're like, oh, we're gonna have a scene where someone's picking up a pole. Ah, it's in your face. You ever see Amityville 3D?
No.
Amityville Horror 3D, yeah.
Oh,
There's a
God,
lot
this
of
is-
weird 3D stuff in that. So, yeah, because every, like, few decades, 3D comes back as a trend.
Oh,
And
yeah.
The 80s, they came back for a bit. And I don't know if you ever noticed, but, like, when it cuts to that weird composite 3D, the screen just gets so dirty. There's, like, scratches everywhere.
It looks a little rugged.
However they did that process back then, it just, like, I remember Friday the 13th 3D. I'm like, this is a dirty-looking movie because of this 3D, the way they're filming it.
Yeah, and I mean it does. Obviously, it gets better and like as it goes on. But like I remember, just probably not even a decade ago when 3D TVs came out.
Yeah.
And everybody, I remember so many friends' parents like having.
I still
having
have one.
You
The
have one?
glasses don't work anymore.
Yeah, it's just the TV now.
Yeah. They actually weren't bad TV. Even if you didn't use 3D, they were good TV.
Yeah.
So this time there's another shark. And this time he's chasing some skiers featuring young, hot Leah Thompson. He chases them into SeaWorld, almost breaks the gate going into SeaWorld. They're very worried about it. Yeah, and that's how they get into SeaWorld. And just wouldn't you know it, Mike Brody happens. By the way, this is in the future now. Mike Brody just happens to work at SeaWorld. You'd think after those two shark
Of
encounters.
course. You know why? Why? And then we have to get into it in 4 about it.
So he works there. He dates the girl who's in charge of the dolphins, Cindy and Sandy.
Of course, that's their names. Like,
And yeah, then we meet the Calvin, the guy who owns the whole SeaWorld thing. So what do you think of this whole premise here of Jaws inside a SeaWorld?
I mean, at least it's different. It's not
Yeah.
Amity. It's not Amity getting attacked again. You
Yeah.
know? And then the mayor just like, nah, dude, you're just seeing things. Like, not 3 times, not 3 barrels. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you'll never believe it. Oh, sorry. Go.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, you'll never believe it. Sean Brody comes to visit. He comes to visit SeaWorld. The Brody boys are back.
Oh man, dude, like the way that he lands a chick is not even real. Like some standoff game where they push. Like,
Have you ever played standoff?
I don't understand how they're doing. What do you just stay still and you're
like,
not allowed to?
You like stand and just kind of, and whoever loses their balance, it makes no sense.
Yeah, well, the girl was clearly thirsty when he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, my fly's open." And she's like,
Also, he's very southern now because I guess after being attacked by sharks, you're like, I'm gonna go to Texas, but not near the ocean.
"Yeah, yeah." It's like absolutely. And then he comes in, and then she also at the same time he's just as thirsty because he's just like, "Yeah, I'll get in the water." Nah, fuck it, who cares?
It's Leah Thompson. Have you not seen Howard
Yeah,
the
I
Duck
probably
and
would.
Back
I
to
probably,
the Future?
I would have
come
listened. I would have listened to her too. She can call me whatever she wants. Calvin, I don't care.
People are missing. Mike barely mentions the first 2 Jaws movies, and he mentions how he's going to go work in Venezuela. And then Simon McCorkindale comes in as like this adventurer.
Yep.
Philip Fitzpatrick or something, or
Yeah, the guy comes off like such a
yeah,
like
he's a
narcissist.
real
Like,
smug asshole.
Yeah, like, oh, let's go to the bar.
Yeah, I actually
Okay.
really like him. I'm just like, he's no longer with us, Simon McCorkindale,
Ah.
but he was a really good actor. And he's real charming and real douchey in this at the same
That's
time.
so. As I was watching, who I was watching it with was like, wow, they really come off like super douchey. I bet you he's like probably a really good actor, and I just don't know where he's from. And I'm like, that's exactly what you just said.
Well, listen. If you can hunt down the one season of Manimal. I highly suggest you watch Manimal. And then remember that the show in the 90s, Nightman, actually had a Manimal crossover. They brought Simon McCorkindale back to be in an episode of Nightman.
You're going to be making a lot of people do homework after this.
You know who else was in an episode of Nightman?
Who else?
President Donald Trump. He has a cameo in that show.
Oh
when he announced he was leaving SAG, I was trying to think of all the things he's acted in, and I'm like, Home Alone 2, and I'm like, oh, in that episode of Nightman.
Oh my God.
They go in the water, and they're chased by a shark.
Right.
And the dolphins save them from the shark. They're riding dolphins like jet skis away from the shark.
Like all they needed were these dolphins to have hands to high five each other at the end of it.
So they now have
this
a plan.
Is ridiculous.
They're like, there's a shark in SeaWorld, a great white shark. And Mike is clearly like, sharks are bad news. We're done. Simon McCorkindale, Philip's character, is like, what if we killed it on camera? Which, by the way, he's like,
it's SeaWorld. This is supposed to be for children.
Yeah.
Let's just shoot and kill.
Which, by the way, but it's weird that he's like, if we killed a shark, that would be because very famous. It's like, sharks are killed all the time. They're hunted all the time. If anything, they're hunted too much. Like I don't know why it'd be like, hey, we killed a shark. It'd be like, okay.
And there's none in captivity. So what if we catch it?
So
and
the girl is like,
ooh.
You can't keep a great white in captivity. They just don't take to it. So she's like, what if we capture it and put it in captivity? So they end up capturing, which, by the way, so we're made to believe that this shark was born in SeaWorld. But like, I saw people that are like, that shark is way too big to be like it's for like when it was born. Also, I think great whites have like multiple sharks they give birth to.
Yeah, well, I believe so. That's why.
Yeah. So it's weird that it just has one and it's like already almost grown. But yeah, they capture it and there's a big celebration for this kid.
There is.
What did you think of the celebration for the Look at Our Shark party?
The way that they like this thing is like a when they put it in the water, and it's like dying before everyone's eyes, and I absolutely love it.
And you don't get it. People are dancing outside, like, "Oh, SeaWorld's open! Oh my God, it's gonna be awesome!" And then she's like, "Wait, it's too early!" And then the shark just like, "Wah."
Yeah, I she's like, this beautiful creature. I'm like, that's a murderer.
Yeah,
like, and they're like, they bring it in, because it's dying, and then he was like, wow, it didn't need any narcotics or anything, or whatever.
So
that was their way to set it up as this like super creature.
By the way, so she's in there. They find a dead body at that point because at the same time, the dead body of the muscle guy just shows up on the tour. This is not a good day at SeaWorld.
Well, yeah, while they're like walking in, and I heard this. Then like the crowd pushes this girl's face into it.
Which I don't know why the shark didn't eat him fully. I guess it just got bored. I don't know.
Had to leave a message.
Yeah, it left a message. Which, by the way, so they're talking about this whole like, there's a mom shark out there. It's gonna go after us. And sure enough, the shark, because they're in the underwater restaurant, the shark waves. It's like, hi, I'm here.
Oh my God. Yeah. Wait. Because this is when they're all sitting. Like there's a great white that's like loose in there, and they're like, there it is.
Wow, how convenient. It's right there.
He's like, are you sure you don't have the tooth?
And now the shark wants revenge, not to be confused with another shark who wants revenge coming up.
Oh, yeah.
It attacks
that thing did.
It attacks the skiers during their skiing performance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
16 of them just stacked up.
Yeah. So I need to know about the tubes, which again, sometimes are composited and sometimes are just green screen. So are the tubes really weak or is that shark really strong? Because I feel like a pressurized tube and whatnot would be really strong.
Oh, yeah, the thing looks like plexiglass.
It does.
Like, how like the hockey glass used to be. Like you could check somebody into it and it just shattered on the crowd.
Yeah, it's like, wow, that tube is not strong at all.
Like the water should have been able to break that.
Yeah. So now we have this whole thing where there's like people kidnapped, like trapped under there.
Yeah, which I have to comment on. They're trapped in this thing, right?
Yeah.
As Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
And they're talking about like how were so inconsistent on like the sense of urgency versus let's talk about our future. Like they went on and they were like, we got to get them out of here. All right, we fixed it. We sorted it in. So they're cool. Like, or they're getting there, but the shark's heading right towards them. Yeah, but you know what? I really can't wait for us to move to Venezuela together. And then they start making out, and I'm just like, people are gonna fucking die. Like,
This is not the time for this.
and they're so inconsistent, and then I'm like, oh my god, and they're getting out of it.
It's so stupid.
I didn't understand the part where I guess he had the rope. It was connected with a very terrible tie. I guess. And he's like kind of dragging himself, and I guess the shark isn't fast enough, or it doesn't know.
There was like a weird thing
or
there.
like it's not making noise because it's just dragging itself. And then the second it got loose, he's just like, you're done.
Yeah.
Like,
Then there's that plan to trap it in the tube.
yeah, that part. Yeah.
Yeah. And poor Simon McCorkindale, he doesn't make it. He has a grenade. He doesn't get to blow it up in time. He doesn't make it. And his friend is like, I couldn't understand a word his friend was saying.
The one that was yelling down.
Yeah, he's like,
He's like, no, he made it.
oh my God.
He like made it seem he's like he's one day away from retirement. You know, like
And then the shark is just sitting in place and it's like, I'm gonna break out of this now. It's like, wow, it's a really strong shark.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but I mean, I only had that one little rod. Right?
Yeah. Okay, so this has cracked me up since I was a kid. When they're all in the bridge of the Enterprise, I guess. I don't know what the fuck that room is. They're all in there and they're just oh, I forgot to mention, sorry. When they go initially down there before the one shark chase, the submarine is one of the worst effects I've ever seen.
Oh God.
Until we get to this scene. The shark slowly is coming toward the window. And by the way, sometimes they'll show the shark like kind of wiggling, but it was
a still picture that you got from Google.
It looked like a still picture that you just like enlarge.
Yeah.
And it's moving, and then
it looks like it's like smiling at you, and it doesn't move.
Sense. So it hits the window, but then it shatters. All the water comes in, but the shark is staying still. The shark is not going in with the water.
It just stayed there, and then they had like that like. Oh my God! Like a Windows Movie Maker glass effect, coming at you, and you're like, "Whoa!"
So yeah, it's the dumbest thing. It eats a guy that's in there, but it is kind of cool how they kill it. For some reason, Simon McCorkindale's arm wasn't digested, and he's still holding on to the grenade. So they hook the key off the grenade. That explosion's cool.
That actually was. It was the best looking one.
Yeah, and I love the movie. Literally, its jaws fly at the screen.
Right.
And apparently, like some of the
that part was terrible.
Apparently, like some of the guts that they used was just like a melted ET doll. They were saying there was like a melted ET doll to look like guts. I don't know. That's what I read. I don't know if it's true.
A melted ET. Love it.
They escape out of there, and you think everything's all fun and stuff, but wait. What about the dolphins? I thought every time I watch this, I keep thinking like there's a scene where the dolphins fight the shark, but that doesn't exist.
Wait, no. There's more than just them being drug out by them, isn't there? Like they had two different scenes, heroic scenes.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, yeah, right at the end.
But for some reason, I think I'm remembering the Flipper movie from the 90s where a bunch of dolphins fight a shark. But whenever I go to rewatch, it's like, oh, there's a scene where the sharks fight, the dolphins fight the shark, but that's like not in this, right?
No, and also I feel like we're just thinking of like Echo.
Yeah.
like that's what we played. It was Echo.
But holy shit. When the dolphins survive, that last shot where the dolphins come and they're just mirrored.
Dude, it's just that the as great of the celebration they had was just way too much.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, dude, people died.
People just died.
They like right then. Like there wasn't like oh man, what a ride, right?
Oh my God, that shark died. Oh my God, all these people died. Anyway, the dolphins are okay.
It looks like we don't have to close SeaWorld at all. These people aren't going to sue us.
SeaWorld is closed forever.
Yeah.
It's like in the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. They're like, yeah, Jurassic World closed. I'm like, yeah, I don't blame them.
Yeah, absolutely. They weren't just gonna fix we just fixed the problems.
But yeah, the movie's stupid. It's kind of fun with how dumb it is. There's a lot happening in it. I'll give it that.
The ways that they even came, the ways that they came out to go and look for the shark out in the water, they're taking this like concert stage looking thing.
Yeah,
I'm like, that thing's not gonna keep them.
Yeah. I don't know. So overall, what do you feel about this one?
It was exactly how you said when I asked if you watched it before me. It was so bad that it was just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different enough from the first two where something else is happening. It's ridiculous. The effects are kind of garbage.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's so much of that obnoxious pointing at the camera. So, oh my God, I'm losing balance of my water bottle, kid. I hope it doesn't go toward the camera. Oh! Can you believe that? That was coming right for them.
Oh, I love it. I mean, yeah, it's so like, I don't know, what you call it, campy or something like that.
Yeah, it's very hokey. It's definitely a product of its time. You can tell they're running out of ideas.
They threw it in just for the 3D effect.
I've never actually watched it in 3D.
Neither did I. I mean, I really wish I had those like blue and red glasses.
Yeah. And that's why actually, because it says Jaws 3, I think, like a lot of releases. When I was a kid, I didn't know it was 3D. So when I watched it on TV, I'm like, what is with these weird effects constantly coming at them? Like, what
really
is
bad
this?
Graphics of a.
I'm like, yeah, these graphics are like really bad. What's going on here? Why are they lingering? I'm like, oh, because you're supposed to be in a theater and be like, oh, the shark's coming for me. Yeah. So that is it for Jaws 3D. And I hope you patrons and YouTube channel members love this 3D segment of us talking. It's so cool. You also get a lot of other stuff at the $2 tier, not just this joke video. You get bonus videos, exclusive vlogs, and content. There's so much stuff. At only $2 a month, kid.
Only $2? That's it? That's
only $2. Only $2. For the price of getting hit with a weed whacker in a wrestling ring, you can afford. Why did you bring a weed whacker into a wrestling ring?
Well, I needed to cut it. I needed to hit him in the nuts with it.
I feel like that's cheating, but that's just me.
Not at XPW.
And that's the end of the 3D segment. Jaws, the Revenge. Another good tagline. This time it's personal. This time it's personal. Not the last two times. This time it's personal.
Yeah, well, literally it is. I mean, this thing came from like Amity all the way to where was he? Why am I?
The Bahamas.
In the Bahamas. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I didn't take too many notes for this because I was kind of falling asleep last night on this one.
It's fine.
So this one, directed by Joseph Sargent. This one, the producer, Universal Studios is open now. It has the Jaws ride. They wanted a movie to help promote the ride.
Just to get people excited
for the ride. Kind of like that last terrible Star Wars movie, Rise of Skywalker. That movie was always going to get made, but they rushed it out.
Yep.
Like, because, they fired the director and writer. They forced J.J. Abrams to like rewrite and direct it really, really quick because they wanted to help promote that their theme park, which was then closed for all of 2020. So they rushed out a movie. In hindsight, they could have taken a little bit more time on that movie, but they rushed it out. So yeah, this movie apparently was made to help promote like the theme park and get people wanting to go there to be on the Jaws ride.
Yep.
Yes, this movie is rough. It's got a good cast. They bring Lorraine Gary back from the first two.
Yep.
I mean, she was like the head of she was the head of Universal's wife or something, so she got a good paycheck.
Was she really?
Yeah.
Of course.
Or like one of the producer's wife. They got Michael Caine as Hoagie, who
Hoagie.
He missed out on accepting his Academy Award because he was filming this.
Well, oh my God! When I looked the movie up on IMDb, they just said this was one of Michael Caine's paydays. Movies. He has like a whole list of them that he's got.
He has a very famous quote where he goes, I haven't seen the movie. By all accounts, it's terrible, but I've seen the house it built, and it's wonderful.
I love Michael Caine.
Apparently, he had a fun. He's like, I had a fun holiday. I got a nice house out of it. He's like, I wish I could have accepted my Oscar, but other than that, it's fine.
I like all the scenes with him. He's just fun to kind of watch. Like he always just kind of makes light of the situation. Like, dude, you almost like that shark just almost ate you.
Yeah.
Took the plane underwater, and is that your plane?
Yeah.
So like, what are you gonna do? How are you going to ship out?
We also got Lance Guest from Halloween 2 and The Last Starfighter as Michael Brody. I guess they couldn't get Dennis Quaid back.
No.
And Mary Von Peebles as Jake, his assistant. And I like Mary Von Peebles, and of course, we all know him from Highlander 3, The Sorcerer, right? Was that the name of that one, or was that The Last Dimension?
Dude, you're asking the wrong guy.
Fuck, what's Highlander 3 called?
Highlander 3.
Oh shit, I'm gonna look like an asshole. I might have had
Oh my
two
god,
titles.
who's gonna know?
But anyway. So yeah, this fucking piece of shit movie. Well, I hated this one as a kid. For some reason, I still watched it whenever it was on because it was a Jaws movie. But I really did not like this one as a kid. It is bad.
It was just why am I drawing a blank on Brody's wife?
Lorraine, Ellen Brody,
yeah. Ellen Brody. Like the whole movie is based around her like paranoia.
Yeah,
and then it, lo and behold, it's right because the shark came all the way down.
Who
from
could have guessed?
Amity.
Except it happened so many times before.
Right. And she all of a sudden is just like the most heroic one.
Yeah,
and
by the
goes
way,
out on the water.
she came out of retirement for this.
She
Her
did.
last movie was 1941 and 1979, and then she came back for this. This is her final film role. What a high note to go out on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the story is Sean. By the way, they don't mention Jaws 3 at all.
No. Yeah.
At
Yeah.
all.
That just didn't happen.
It didn't happen. I like to imagine it did happen, which makes it even funnier. So Sean's back in Amity, and he's now a cop like his dad, who's been dead for like over a year.
Mm-hmm.
They have a picture of him, and he has to fix. It's around Christmas time. He has to fix something like near a buoy. A shark comes out and rips his arm off. And he looks like what's his face? The kid from It with the yellow rain jacket and the arm missing. Yeah. So
like
the shark kills
such
him.
great effects, by just hiding it.
Yeah, just hiding it. So the shark kills him.
Wait. When his arm bit off, it wasn't even that he reacted to it being bit off. He fell backwards and he's like, "Whoa, my arm! Where is it?" Like, it was no pain, nothing. It was just, "Oh, I can't lift. Where is it?"
And apparently there's like Christmas carolers singing, so no one
and they
hears
kept
them
going
like,
back to the one kid singing. And I'm like, wow, this isn't gonna ruin.
So yeah, Michael comes up to the funeral, and like Ellen Brody is like a range of emotions in this. Sometimes she's like smiling at inappropriate times. Then she starts crying at random
Starts
times.
laughing at the funeral.
Yeah,
and
it's very awkward. She'll like just start smiling and laughing and crying. And she's just like, yes, it's the shark that did it. It wanted revenge. And then she goes, your dad died he's like, Dad died of a heart attack. She's like, no.
From the shark for fear.
He died of fear of sharks. And it's just like,
okay, that's
it's
Mom.
like, wait, why didn't he just move?
I don't know. Why I don't understand 2 times in a row. It's like, dude, I think after that, man, go back to New York. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he's like, Michael's is like, you know what, Mom? She's like, I don't want anyone in my family ever near the water again. So he's just like, you know what, Mom? I know what will make you feel better. Let's take you to more water, but different water. Let's go to the Bahamas.
Yeah, sharks don't like warm water.
Which I think Siskel and Eve back in the day, they're like, why don't they just go to like a state that's not near the ocean? You'll be so much safer if you just don't go near the ocean.
I could not believe that. And then like I went and did something. Oh yeah, pour myself a drink because I needed it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I start watching it, and she's in the water by herself.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what's happening? Like,
was that the dream? There was like a dream sequence, right, where she imagines the shark. They go to the islands, Hoagie is a pilot. Now, there was a novelization of this that apparently I've never personally read it. I think my friend CB Smith read it, or maybe even Clayton. So there, I just want you to know that I think Hoagie is a drug runner. That's like a secret thing that he does. I think he says laundry, but
Yeah,
I think
but the way he said it, he was like, I deliver laundry.
Yeah, I think the book confirms that he's a drug runner. And also, I think, if I remember right, it's either in the book or an old script, the shark was targeting the Brodies due to voodoo magic.
I mean,
So there's a reason that the shark wants revenge. There was some like family that was wronged by the Brodies, I think. Again, I haven't read this. Let me know if I'm wrong and if I just read a weird fan theory, but I feel like that's something that exists in either the novelization or the original script about like magic is what's setting. The shark literally somehow knows they're going to the Bahamas and follows
I know.
them.
It would have been better if they just, if they just made Cocaine Shark. The plane goes down and then the shark gets the cocaine. And then next thing you know, it goes after the Brodies. Coincidentally.
So yeah, they're in the Bahamas. So Mike is like a marine biologist. He's studying snails.
So, yep.
That's his thing. He just loves
That's
snails.
it. It's the safest thing. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, he's got his like assistant, which what was his name again? Mary Van Peebles or Melvin? What was Mario or Melvin? Mario, Jake. Who's just like a real like asshole to him. Yeah, he gets he's like in like a submarine. I think at some point he just turns around, the shark's just there.
Yeah.
He's like, whoa!
Whoa, we got a big fish on our hands or
Wait,
whatever.
doesn't he hum the Jaws theme at one
Yeah,
point?
he does. When while not Michael, is it Michael? The one he's in it. Yeah, Michael's in it, and he just starts doing the song, and I'm like, is it just a coincidence? Like,
Nick, knock it off.
They're trying to figure out different ways to like track the shark with its heartbeat. There's a lot of like techno babble, sci-fi stuff with that weird device.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. The one day the shark just eats a bunch of people on a banana boat. Mm-hmm. That's the scene I remember the most.
In front of a whole
Bunch of people. It's chasing like the daughter, the granddaughter.
Yep.
And it just eats a girl on the banana boat.
And she just, she's like, oh, she's fine. She's just in shock. Like, she's scarred for. Is like when they say shock, now that would be like, this person's going to have mental, like they're going to have issues when they get older.
Michael's been keeping it from his mom.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want her to know. But she finds out the hard way. That shark is there. So there's this.
Yeah, that's terrible.
So I think they also pointed this out in Siskel and Ebert. So like it gets to the big climax where they're on the ocean, they're being attacked by the shark on the boat, and Hoagie comes in with his plane, and I think the plane gets dragged underwater, but like he's like super wet, and then he gets on the boat and he's just completely dry.
Yep.
He's just completely dry.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So
he said he comments something about like it being almost inside the shark's mouth or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it smells bad in there.
Yeah.
And you're like,
By the way, there's a big part of this movie that's just elderly people falling in love. If that's what you wanted in your Jaws sequel, is elderly people having a romantic story.
Michael Caine, shooting his shot. He's like, it was like awkward.
I think he was even impressed that like they wrote him like an age appropriate girlfriend, and they're like, because you don't really see those kind of stories, especially in big blockbusters. So I'm like, that's nice. So yeah, they're using the device to fuck up the shark, who is now doing that roar that I've referenced before. So it's a very famous roar. I think it's from an old dinosaur movie. I talked about it in our King Kong 76 episode. They've used that roar through a lot of movies.
Okay.
And actually, this shark, in the Angry Video Game Nerd Tomb Raider episode, I did a joke where every monster the nerd comes in contact with does the roar, and I had that shark come out doing the roar. By the way, I guess sharks roar now. I don't know. They don't really make a sound, but now they roar.
It's oh my god. Yeah, but that roar I am definitely familiar with. Same thing as the sound like when a cowboy gets shot.
Yeah. The Wilhelm scream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So How did the shark die in your version? Because there's multiple endings to this.
Well, that's what. So that was my confusion, and I was asking you, like, because I didn't know that there were multiple ones until you told me. But mine just looked like it just blew up out of nowhere, and I couldn't figure out, like, did I miss something? Was there a part where they threw something?
Kit, you missed nothing. So what happened? So the original ending of the movie, which, by the way, Ellen Brody can just recall things she wasn't present for.
Yeah, that's actually the most important part of this whole movie. Is that's the reason why she has this like PTSD from things that she wasn't even a part of.
Yeah,
you know.
But she knows about the smile. I guess he could have told her about the smile, son of a bitch. But
yeah, because she says it at one point, and then she has like this perfect vision in her head, this memory of her husband doing it.
Yeah,
you know, and then also her son dying. Yeah, where nobody was present for.
Oh yeah, she's able to recall that. It's so stupid.
His like last words, you know.
So originally when it was released in theaters, I think this is the ending from the book. Actually, they impale the shark with the stern, whatever they call it. Yeah, so they impale the shark with the boat. And it like bleeds out and it like falls down. I think in some versions there's an extended thing where you see like the miniature of the shark in the air and you get to see it bleed. It looks terrible. That's why they cut to just the full size one. Okay. But you see it bleeding out even more. So I have it written down here because this just boggles my mind. Apparently the audiences didn't like that ending. So for the home release on home video, they shot a new ending, which is not the same miniature shark from the original extended ending. I've heard, I couldn't confirm this. I heard that they grabbed a shark from like the Universal Studios store. And if you I don't know if you freeze framed what that looked like. It's clearly just like a toy that blows up. Oh so they added in this explosion to make it more exciting. And then they recycled the footage of the shark falling from the first movie. But it makes no sense. There's nothing in the shark to blow it up. That device shouldn't blow it up.
I don't get how they do, like how this gets passed, you know?
Yeah, but they put that in the home release so people like would see the movie in the theaters and then watch it on video and be like, wait, that's not how, why is this shark blowing up now? And then I like when it plays on TV, it depends on which version it is. Like, I think when I used to watch it on TV, I think it was just it getting stabbed and dying. I don't think I remember it blowing up.
This is definitely one that I've only seen one time as a kid. Yeah. And I probably watched on like TBS or something. Yeah. But I can't imagine them like playing it a lot. Maybe I guess when it first came out.
Again, they marathon these a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, the explosion, like because I was telling my brother-in-law about this because he hasn't seen the sequels. I think he likes the first one. And he's like, is the last one really bad? I'm like, it's awful. And I sent him that clip. I'm like, there's no reason for the shark to explode. They just did it after the fact.
Yeah. Like I liked the one positive thing of the movie is like every one of those times where it would attack the boat or whatever, like it looked pretty cool. Like, you know,
that shark looked really bad. It looked really bad.
I was drinking a lot of wine.
Okay. Maybe you were drinking a lot of wine. By the way, I feel like a lot of times it's like hovering above the water. Like, I feel like it's just above the water, like a little too
gliding.
much.
I'm like, man, that thing is really fast.
Yeah, like, this is a flying shark. What's going on here? Like, especially at the end where it's going to the boat. It's like way too high up in the water. I'm like, guys, Jaws 1, it was above the water because it was jumping. It wasn't just swimming like that.
Yeah, and then like every time they shocked it or whatever the hell, and then it would just jump up. Like,
in your version, did the Jake character just stay dead?
Wait,
the Mary Van Peebles character?
No, he was.
Okay, I think there's some versions where he stays dead, and then there's other versions where he's still alive.
Yeah, I think I don't.
Oh yeah, the version that you watched, he is alive. Yeah. I think in some other versions he just stays dead. So yeah, that was Jaws.
He just stays dead.
Jaws the Revenge. So, Kit, final thoughts on Jaws the Revenge. What do you think?
Ellen Brody needs to just get over her shit. Okay, listen, and don't live on an island.
Yeah, it's really. Did you ever see that?
Everything.
You ever see that skit that was like viral years ago? The pool shark skit.
With the
shark in the pool, and they're like, "What are we gonna do?" And the guy's just constantly like, "Just don't go in the pool." And they're like, That was like my
Well,
favorite
maybe
thing.
just
Like,
not the deep end. Like,
yeah, it's like, no, just guys, just don't go in the pool. So yes, we have talked about 3 of these wonderful films. Now it comes time to decide what is the worst Jaws sequel. What are you picking as the worst Jaws sequel?
definitely. And the thing is, you would think it would be 3D because
Yeah.
of how, but it's just so funny.
Yeah.
You know? And so I'm gonna go with Revenge. Revenge was absolutely horrible, and it has a terrible ending to
Yeah.
this thing didn't come from Amity all the way.
I agree with you. It's the Revenge. Part of me was like, I almost made it Jaws 2 just because of how like just trying so hard to be the first movie.
But we're just being critical of it.
Yeah.
More than
But like Jaws the Revenge, it's like there's a more interesting backstory to the movie, and like there's a lot of ridiculous stuff. But yeah, when you're actually watching it in the moment, you're like, God, this is fucking dull. Like I don't care about any of these characters or anything.
Right.
Like you said, Jaws 3, as dumb and bad as it is, it's not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination. But like it was trying to change things up a little. It's still sharks chasing people, but it changed the environment.
right.
They
Yeah.
added some extra elements. They didn't work, but they at least tried something different. And again, that is like the funniest one to put on. It's the fastest paced one. I'm
Absolutely.
probably not going to watch any of these.
No.
Unless I want to do a Jaws marathon just for funsies. But like going forward, like if I'm on a desert island and they said you can't have the first one, you can only pick these 3 sequels, I'll be like, all right, give me 3.
Yeah. I
Give me
do
3. So yeah, I think 3 is probably the best sequel. Not that that's much. But yeah, Jaws the Revenge is probably the worst.
Yep.
It's
Absolutely.
probably the worst.
2 is just there. It just exists.
Yeah, 2 is just kind of there.
What Jaws 2 is you're skipping through TV, which none of us do anymore.
Yeah.
And you just see Jaws 2.
Like, oh yeah, I love Jaws. It's the second one.
It's not.
I'm like, all right, maybe the helicopter scene's coming up.
It's the tail end of the one, and then you're like, oh, it's back on. Don't worry, we can watch it in the beginning, and then you see it, and you're like, oh, that's.
So yes, Jaws 4 is the worst Jaws movie. Kit, where can we find you? I know that you're jobbing around in the mud shows.
Oh yeah,
What's a mud show you're jobbing around in coming up?
Oh man, I can't wait for you to show up. You should go to another one of those Ring of Honor shows and then just screenshot yourself there
Oh, that's
in the
right,
crowd.
Kit. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was on Ring of Honor. I was on 2 episodes of Ring of Honor. I got to see Samoa Joe. I don't know if you know him. He's like a real wrestler that's like in movies and stuff now. I got to see him defend his championship. It was a great time. It was a great. Have you
God.
been on Ring of Honor?
Yeah, I was on it once.
Like this newest TV
No,
version?
I was not. I was not.
Oh, like an older version. Oh, that's impressive. So yeah, where can we find you?
Well, God, I'm not. I don't want to tell you because I don't want you to show up. But I know that you're one of my biggest fans ever, and you're just holding it back. You're just holding yourself back.
I say everything in good fun.
Yeah, right.
Is what I'm saying because you're currently here. When you leave, I might change my mind.
I have a table waiting for you to go through it. I can't
Look,
wait,
look.
and I'm sure everybody that subscribes to you is would love to see me put you
Do
through.
you?
one.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You guys.
Let's have a vote. I mean,
I'm like, kid. I'm like 12 feet taller than you. You're not throwing me through a table. I could easily take you, dude. I don't know if
Okay.
you know this, but like a lot of YouTubers are like getting into boxing.
Oh, I
And they're
heard.
doing like a great job, better than the regular boxers.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if I, a YouTube podcaster, were to start wrestling, it'd be like you wouldn't stand a chance.
Oh, you're right. All you have to do is do like a Rocky marathon, and then
Yeah.
you'll know what you're doing.
I know exactly. I'll
You know, it's
watch
just
a
kinda
bunch
like-
of wrestling movies.
God.
No Holds Barred. I'm gonna watch that. I'll learn everything I need to learn from that. And how hard could it be, Kit, to be a wrestler?
Come to think of it, I had no idea that everybody that's never been in a ring, like all these wrestling fans, that they know so much more about wrestling than I do.
Yes.
And they've never even stepped foot in one.
Yes, well,
They just
I mean,
behind that
you'll-
guardrail, and they
Look,
just-
I don't. I'm sure people in the comment are saying, Tony, don't wrestle Kit. You're gonna beat him too easily. You're gonna make him look bad. I'm
Yeah.
sure that's what they're commenting right now.
Oh.
I hope to God they're not saying, yes, get in the ring with him. Get in the ring with him, Tony. And I'm not scared to get in a ring with you. It's not like I saw you put a weed whacker to a guy's balls or anything. That doesn't scare me. It's just more for you. I don't want to embarrass you.
Yeah, you just do such a great job keeping the blood inside you. I love that was such great advice that you gave me.
I was thinking,
I had no idea.
Every other picture of you is your blood's on the outside of your body. Kid, it's supposed to stay inside you.
So most of the time it's not my blood. It's somebody else's.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, I don't actually watch the matches. So yeah, where's your social media? Where can we find you?
At Kid Osbourne.
Okay.
KITOSBOURNE, just like Ozzy.
Okay.
And that's on Instagram, Twitter. Well, no, wait, I don't have Twitter anymore.
Hey, you got kicked off Twitter.
I got kicked off Twitter because of a fan. Wow, you guys just...
How was that fan? Tell me about that fan. Are you allowed to talk about that fan interaction?
I can talk about that fan interaction. I'm
obviously not going to show video because apparently you get kicked off for it, but anyway.
So what had happened was a fan, while I'm in the ring after a match, is poking at me with like his poster and like, I'm like, don't stop touching me, you know, like from the other side of the guardrail. And, and I'm, kind of like literally saying like, stop touching me, and things like that. And I happen to have a light tube in my hand.
Yeah.
So he is, doing
that. By the way, kid, the light tubes go in the ceiling. I don't know why they're in the wrestling. You're supposed to put them in the ceiling to make light.
They put everything you can imagine under the ring.
Do they not have like a storage room at these events? I always notice they're putting trash cans under the ring.
Yeah, everything. Metal trash cans too, which nobody
even
uses
just the
anymore.
most convenient place to put trash cans.
Yeah, ladders, kendo sticks. Like I don't even know where that.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to put underneath.
I don't get it. It's like they always have things like
sometimes
if you're hungry,
under the ring. It's a very weird.
He's usually under every ring. Like, but.
So yeah, that guy got a little carried away.
Yeah, he got carried away, and I kind of hit him with the tube, and I was unprofessional. But at the end of the day, I don't really regret it, and I would definitely do it again if I get poked at from the other side of the guardrail.
That sucks. I hung out with fans at Universal Studios. We just had a good time and we're drinking. None of us fought each other. I mean, that's. Maybe my fans are better. I don't know. Maybe you could get some of my fans, obviously not a lot, but you can get some of my fans and they will definitely not poke you or throw things at you at your wrestling shows.
Oh, I'd appreciate that.
and again, I mean, if they want me to wrestle you, I will reluctantly wrestle you, but it's going to be a bad time.
Yeah,
so
for you.
I just want to prove you. I'm going to put a poll out. Should I wrestle Kid Osbourne? And I guarantee you everyone's going to say, nah, don't do it. Don't do it. Anyway, that was it from us. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
and thanks for forcing me to watch this. And if there's a poll and this match somehow happens, I will remember being forced to watch Jaws 2 3D 3. And the revenge.
You're gonna have the DVDs as like blades.
You'll be like, this is my revenge, okay? And it'll be just as bad for you as watching
the revenge
for me.
Absolutely.
I'll get my Quinn outfit out.
I was that shark for Halloween one year, and I got 3 yellow balloons, and I made that the barrels. I safety pinned yellow balloons to myself.
That's such a clever idea.
But yes, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to see that 3D VR segment, join Patreon or become a YouTube channel member. If you become a $5 patron, we did a commentary track for Survivor Series, the one where the most legendary wrestler made his appearance, the Gobbledygooker. And the Undertaker was there. So check that out. That was a fun time.
Who'd he ever beat?
And let us know in the comments what you think is the worst Jaws movie. It's probably going to be 4, but let us know. Goodbye.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.